Welcome to First Unitarian Church of Orlando. I'm Charlotte Kendall, a member of the worship team here at 1U. With me in today's service are our spiritual leader, Reverend Margalie Belizaire. Welcome back. Director of Lifespan Religious Enrichment, Judith Stein-Farrall. Director of Music, Aubrey Connelly-Candelario. Chalice Choir and Luminary Choir with Jacob Hike on drums. We also have our chalice lighter, Demetrius, who is 9 and loves to draw, and board member Michael Lewis. And let's not forget our teams of wonderful people in the background, working diligently to ensure that we come together this morning. So thank you, thank you. Children will be sung out today after the Time for All Ages portion of the service. We greet you this morning, old friends and new, as we explore our Unitarian Universalist faith, which draws us into a community of justice seekers and a commitment to lifelong spiritual growth and compassionate service to the community. Whether today is your first or your 1000th Sunday in our midst, you are welcome here. Whoever you are, whoever you love, you are welcome here in this community. Your whole self is welcome. We welcome your race, national origin, immigration status, gender identity, sexual orientation, age, physical or mental abilities, economic status, or religious background. We welcome you. We have a few special announcements today. Today's town hall has been postponed to later in the month. Join us next Sunday as Reverend Margalie leads us from tomb to womb. What if this darkness is not the darkness of the tomb, but the darkness of the womb? What if our America is not dead, but a country still waiting to be born? What if the story of America is one long labor? Let us explore together these insightful questions by activist and poet Valerie Kaur in the context of today's America. We now invite our Stewardship Committee co-chair Sandy Pollock to the podium for an update on our generosity campaign.
Thank you, Charlotte, and good morning. So this is the last time I'll be talking generosity campaign this year from the pulpit, yay! But it is with much joy that on behalf of the Stewardship Committee, especially Tommy Harrison and Joan Irwin, co-chairs, that we thank you for your generosity. It's touching and makes me tearful how much you all have stepped up. And so we had hoped for $505,000, but with the pledges we've received so far, which is 107, we have a projected pledge total of $514,430. So definitely give yourselves a round of applause. That just makes our job a little easier when we plan the budget, and we just thank you for your commitment to our community.
Thank you for the good news, Sandy. The order of service can be accessed via the QR code up on the screen right now. A link to the event calendar is at the bottom of the order of service. Please click on it to view what's going on at 1U. For more information about our congregation and announcements, go to orlandouu.org or email info@ orlandouu.org. Let us welcome our chalice lighter today, Demetrius. As I said, he's 9 years old and loves drawing. Please join me in saying our beloved chalice lighting words as Demetrius lights the chalice. In truth and in the warmth of love, we gather to seek, to sustain, and to share. Now, please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing our opening hymn, number 268 and 269, Lo, the Day of Days is Here. The words will be projected on the screen.
Jesus Christ is risen today. Hallelujah. Earth and heaven in chorus say, hallelujah. Raise your joys and triumphs high. Hallelujah. Singing heads and earth reply. Hallelujah. Though the day of days is here. Hallelujah. Festival of hope and cheer. Hallelujah. At the south wind's genial breath. Hallelujah. Nature wakes from seeming death. Hallelujah. Though the Easter tide is here. Hallelujah. Music thrills the atmosphere. Hallelujah. Join you people all and sing. Hallelujah. Love and praise and thanksgiving. Amen. It's Easter, y'all.
All right, it is Easter here at 1U. Good morning, and it is so good to be with you this morning on Easter Sunday. It is especially good to be back in community with you after my sabbatical leave. That time has served me well, which I hope in turn will also serve you well. We'll be exploring the theme, Embracing Possibility, this month, and today's service is entitled Lessons on Possibilities from the Dandelion. Ooh, hence my yellow dress, my dandelion. And it is Easter, as Aubrey well put it. It is Easter, and it is spring. So let us explore this together. And in that vein, I call us to worship with the words of Jean Lloyd. After a long winter, we can say enthusiastically and without second thought, Alleluia, Alleluia, spring is here in all her glory. New life begins, the earth and its creatures are resurrected from their dens of hibernation and dark slumber. Spring is here. Long live spring, long live the rebirthing of life into new and creative forms. Long live majestic love that calls us out of our shells, out of our tombs, and to new ways of being and sacrifice for others. Let the husk of our shells crack wide open in celebration in our place in humanity, our place in nature, our place in the universe. Awake, awake, rejoice, live life, Live life fully. Live life together. Live life now. Hallelujah. We are called to live life with reverence for that which calls us forth in creative love. Be blessed and amen. And come, let us worship together, beloveds. And in so doing, we're going to be greeting one another. And if you're joining us online for the first time, please say so in the comment. If you're joining us for the first time or even the third time in worship today, please stand if you are willing so we may offer you a warm welcome with those folks if you're willing. All right. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. And now let us all greet one another. And you saw the folks who stood up, so please make sure to give them a special warm greeting.
Good morning. I'm happy First Contact Day. For anyone in the congregation who does not know what First Contact Day, it is the pre-anniversary of April 5th, 2063, when Zephyr Cochrane reaches warp speed for the first time and the Vulcans find us. Woo! Live long and prosper. But that is not the time for all ages this morning. My name is Judith. I'm the Director of Lifespan Religious Enrichment, and I invite anyone who is young at heart, not young, anyone who'd like to join me up here to help tell the time for all ages this morning to join us up here. The theme we're weaving this morning from beginning to end of the service this Easter day is how possibility is sometimes overlooked. So I'm going to tell a familiar story to some of us, and you all are going to help me illustrate it by acting it out as we go, all right? Y'all hear me? Y'all can do it too, by the way, but folks up here for sure. And as you act it out, here are the rules. Y'all, oh my gosh, there's an Easter bunny helping us tell the story today. The rules are, as you tell the story with me, you can play all the parts, but you may not touch anybody else to do it. Just pretend. Got it? All right. We're going to visit an Aesop fable, the lion, Dandelion, get it? The lion and the mouse. So, put your fidget items aside and sit right there or stand up as you're comfortable as I describe what's going on. Once upon a time, a lion, lay asleep in the forest. His great head was resting on his paws. Okay, everyone sleeping? Okay, and while the lion was resting, a timid little mouse came upon him unexpectedly, and in their fright and haste to get away, it ran across the lion's nose. Thank you. Squeak, squeak. While the lion was resting, okay, and while the lion was resting, the timid little mouse ran across its nose, and the lion woke up and was roused, and he reach out with your big, and dropped his paws on the mouse's tail and caught it. Spare me, said the mouse. Can you be a scared little mouse? Spare me, said the mouse. Please let me go. And someday, I will repay you. I have laughter here. Can a little mouse help a lion? The lion was amused and laughed and to think that a mouse could ever help him. But he thought for a minute, it doesn't do any harm to be kind. So the mouse removed his paw from the lion removed his paw from the mouse's tail and let the mouse go away. Some days later, deep in the forest, while stalking his prey, right? We're going after something, right? The lion got trapped in a net from some hunter, right? And he couldn't get out. Be stuck and frustrated and roar that you're scared and that you're stuck. Roar! Okay. The mouse recognized his voice, didn't he? Right? He recognized this lion's sound. And it went running, the mouse went running right to the lion to help to see what was going on. And he saw that the lion was trapped in this net. And he started chewing away at the net. This little mouse went clawing and chewing away at this netting that was trapping the lion and eventually tore open a hole, and the lion was able to get free. So, roar in happiness, I'm free, roar! The mouse knew what it had done, and he said, look, lion, because I am so small, because I am just a little mouse, you underestimated my ability to be of help. But now, I hope you understand that there is possibility in everyone and everything around you, right? Even a small little mouse. How's that sound? So I have 3 questions for you real quick. How did the mouse save themselves? Okay. How did the mouse save themselves? How did the mouse save themselves the first time? By helping the lion, right? But the first time, how did the mouse save themselves? Any ideas, Maya? Oh, By saying, if you help me, I'll help you. Yep. Right, that also, right. So Maya said, at first, right, the mouse spoke up for itself. It said, if you help me, I can be of use to you someday. I'm helpful. Right. And then what did the lion do? He let him go. What else? Why did the lion let him go? Because he said nice words to the lion, and because he listened to what the mouse had to say, right? And he was kind. So what's the message here? To be kind. To be nice. And what if you're the lion? What's the message to the lion? Don't underestimate other people. That's it. So with that message, thank you, Maya. And with that message, I invite our adults in this aisle right here to form a loving arch so our kids can be led out by our Easter bunny to go to the labyrinth where we're going to learn about how we're going to collect Easter eggs. Don't underestimate what you know. Light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it
Yes. Let us take a moment to gather ourselves fully and be fully here together in community. Let us rejoice in one another's company, for this too is sacred work. These past 3 months of sabbatical have been a gift. Time to rest, time to be in nature with trees, to read fiction, wow, to listen more deeply, to notice what I had been moving too quickly to see. And what I return with is not a grand conclusion, but a quiet, steady conviction that possibility is always closer than we think, already here, waiting for our attention, our courage, and our willingness to see differently. And so, it feels fitting that in this season of spring, as the earth itself begins again, we gather around this month's theme of embracing possibility, and we do so while continuing our shared commitment to meeting the moment, this moment that's right here in front of us. This morning, we turn to an unlikely teacher, the dandelion, a plant many of us have been taught to resist, to pull, to discard, to label a nuisance. It grows where it is not invited. It refuses to stay contained. It returns again and again, no matter how often it is removed. And yet, if we pause long enough to truly see it, we might discover something entirely different about how we view the dandelion. Resilience. You might discover beauty, usefulness, and possibility. The dandelion does not wait for perfect conditions. It does not ask for permission to exist. It does not internalize the names given to it. It simply becomes fully, insistently, and unapologetically. But on this Easter morning, you might ask, what does this have to do with resurrection? Well, the story of Jesus, too, is a story of one who was not welcomed in many circles, one who disrupted expectations, one who was rejected by religious authorities, by political power, even by those closest to him. And yet, the resurrection story tells us that rejection was not the end of the story. The worst thing was not the last thing, as we explored last Easter, if you might remember. Life insisted, life persisted, possibility broke through. Resurrection is not always neat or celebrated or easily recognized. Sometimes it looks like something small, overlooked, even dismissed, but still alive, still rising. So today we explore what lesson this humble, persistent plant might offer us about possibility and what it means to meet the moment, not in despair or resignation, but with a stubborn, grounded hope. Not a fragile hope that depends on everything going right, but a resilient hope that grows anyway. So dear one, let us enter this time of worship open to what might be growing where we least expect it to, and to what in us is still waiting to rise.
Good morning. My name is Michael Lewis, and I'm a member of the Board of Trustees. Each week, we make space to collect an offering. This is the time when we pass the basket to collect a financial donation from you. We do this not simply to invite you to practice generosity and be in the habit of giving, but also to intentionally and plainly remind you that your giving is necessary for you to exist and thrive, and for us to continue sharing the good news of Unitarian Universalism with the world. Generosity is a spiritual practice that connects us to our neighbors. This morning, our entire collection will go to our Share the Plate partner for March and April, One Heart for Women and Children. They are a lifeline for families in Central Florida, and we are honored to support their mission. Founded by Stephanie Bowman 17 years ago, One Heart for Women and Children stands as a testament to the transformative power of hope. Stephanie's personal journey, from facing homelessness with her daughters to celebrating 27 years of sobriety, fuels her unwavering determination to make a difference. Today, One Heart serves as one of the largest food pantries in all of Orlando and Orange County, offering vital food assistance and outreach, events, thrift store, and many more programs to help our neighbors in need. The organization stands as a symbol of resilience and compassion, committed to uplifting and empowering individuals and families. Through their array of programs, they strive to foster positive change and create a brighter future for all.
Hi, I'm Jeannie. We have another little project we do for One Heart for Women and Children where we write little cheerful notes to put in with the bags of food that they give out. I've made up lots of little packets of cards that have blank cards and instructions that you can take home and do at your leisure. Most Sundays I'm in Gore Hall during social hour giving these out. You can take them, bring them back to me whenever you want. We can also use some donations of blank cards, and you can also recycle cards you receive. Just cut off the writing and give us the picture part. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeannie. Note that you can also give online or use your phone to scan the QR code found in the Pew packet to donate through Zephy. Please note you can change the service fee at checkout to $0 with Zephy. The offering will now be collected. Yeah, I left my outfit at home, but you can still call me Daddy Mike. Here we go. Let us joyfully receive what is offered here today in the spirit of gratitude and fellowship.
This is each week. We make space to share joys and sorrows, the places of lightness and heaviness in our lives. We do this not only to express what is in our own hearts, but to remind one another that no one journeys alone. If you have a sorrow that you need witness or help with, or have a joy you wish to share, please contribute to our collective sharing of joys and sorrows, and we share this here during this time in our service with the rest of the congregation. You can do so by emailing us during the week at joysandsorrows@orlandouu.org. If you are attending in person, we always have these wonderful welcoming folks up front who greet you. They have cards and other writing paper for you to put your joy or your sorrow, and they make sure we receive it up here. And we also participate in a candle lighting ritual. And today is our 3-candle lighting ritual day. Bring your joys, bring your sorrows as we come together. We invite you to come just as you are, because your whole self is welcome here into this sacred space that we are creating together. We have a couple of joys and sorrows to share with you. Today's beautiful arrangement of homegrown flowers from Wendy McCleskey's Amaryllis Garden, with wishes to all for a happy Easter and springtime. And as Jeannie has fallen into the habit of doing, she wishes to wish everyone who celebrates in the month of April a happy birthday and or happy anniversary. Caroline Statsny wants us to know that today is Jaden's 14th birthday. Oh, I thank Jaden. Yes. Be sure to wish Jaden and Beth. Be sure to wish Jaden and Beth a happy birthday as you see them. We have this from James that says, tabled at the Trans Day of Visibility event yesterday for the first time. Thank you for showing up and representing. So for those who didn't fully understand what Michael was talking about when he said he forgot his outfit, yesterday we had the skit show here, and Michael was really dressed to welcome folks, and I believe there are some pictures, so ask him. So it really requires seeing, so be sure to ask him. But having said that, it was a wonderful event, and I think that's probably something we ought to do more often than not, although I do think there are some conversations to be had. And with that in mind, here is a joy card from Kathy Spoon, who says, thanks to Wesley and Nikki for being fabulous MCs. And that is so true. I don't know where they got all these outfits they kept changing into. They must have changed clothes, 20 times? And for the skit show last night, and to Mike Haddad for playing K-pop song Golden on his electronic violin. It was something to be seen. Really, all the acts were wonderful. But this is from Kathy Spoon. Thank you to our MCs and to Mike. And this is an ask for prayer and well wishes for Javier and his mom, Irma, who is still in the hospital. Irma, that is still in the hospital. And this is from the Aguilar family. And I know I saw someone from the Aguilar family. We hold the fears and sorrows of all those affected by the brutality of war, threats, natural disasters, and other situations that are beyond their control. We hold our communities, both near and far, in our country with care, and the world with our compassion, by acting for justice in all the small and large ways that would move the arc of the universe toward justice. And for all the joys and sorrows of this community shared today, and for those continue to be held close to the heart, let us pray, let us celebrate, and let us send one another healing energy. Right now we will light 3 candles, and we will start with these words with the first candle. Well, as you do that, we'll say one will be for sorrow, one for joy, and one for the mystery and unknown that lies before us. Go ahead. This first candle is for all the joys in our hearts, for the beauty and wonder of this world that holds us. We give thanks. This second candle is for the sad and difficult happenings in our lives, for grief over the losses we have borne. Let this flame remind us that we need not carry them alone. And this third candle is for all that remains unknown, a flame of mystery and possibility. Together, these 3 flames, joy, sorrow, and mystery, burn as one. Let them remind us that whatever we bring into the circle of care, we are held in a greater light, and we do not journey alone. Spirit of life, breath within and among us, on this Easter morning, open our eyes to the possibilities we have overlooked. Where we have seen only weeds, help us see resilience and beauty. Plant in us the courage to rise where we are, to grow even in difficult places, and to trust that life is still unfolding. Remind us that the worst thing is not the last thing. Send us out to meet this moment with hope, with love, and with open hearts. May we be so blessed.
Joyful, joyful, we adore thee, God of glory, God of love. Hearts unfold like clouds before thee, veil thee as the sun above. Let the clouds of sin and sadness drive the pain of doubt away.
There's a moment every spring when the world begins again. You can actually feel it before you fully see it. The air changes, the light stretches just a little longer into the evening, the quiet insistence of life returning. And then, almost suddenly, they appear. Dandelions, bright and apologetic everywhere. They push through sidewalks, they claim patches of grass, they gather in clusters. It is as if to say, we are here, we have always been here, and we're not going anywhere. And depending on who you ask, this is either a miracle or a problem to be dealt with. And that tension between what is dismissed and what is sacred, between what is rejected and what is resilient, is where Easter lives. Because Easter at its heart is not just a story about life after death. It is a story about possibility emerging from rejection, about something the world tried to discard, returning with quiet, unyielding power. And so today we turn to the dandelion as a teacher, for it knows something about rejection. Let me tell you something I noticed while I was away. During my sabbatical, one of the practices I returned to was walking meditation. No agenda, no sermon to write, just walking slowly in my backyard, paying attention, letting myself notice what I might otherwise rush past. Eventually, I started to notice them, dandelions. At first, just a few, then more, then everywhere, popping up in places I hadn't seen before, places I was sure they had not been the day before. Bright, insistent, impossible to ignore, once I was actually paying attention. And something shifted for me, because instead of seeing them as something to manage or remove, I found myself lingering, holding off on cutting the grass, looking more closely, noticing the way the yellow almost glows in the sunlight, the way each flower is actually made up of many tiny florets, the way they hold themselves open, unguarded. And I got curious. I started reading about them, learning more, discovering what I had overlooked, and realizing what I knew about dandelion was incomplete. Let's begin with resilience. If you have ever tried to remove a dandelion from your yard, you know this truth. It is not easily defeated. You can pull it up, but even if a small part of the root remains, it'll return. You can cut it down, but it'll grow back. You can ignore it, and it will spread. The dandelion does not wait for ideal conditions. It grows in cracks, in poor soil, places where other plants would struggle to survive. It adapts, it resists, it meets the moment. And here is where the echo of the Easter story become unmistakable. Jesus, too, lived and taught in a world that was not particularly welcoming to his message. He spoke of love and a system built on hierarchy. He practiced inclusion and a culture of exclusion. He disrupted norms, challenged authority, and called people into a deeper and more expansive understanding of what it means to live faithfully. And for that, he was rejected publicly, violently, finally. The crucifixion, in many ways, was an attempt to uproot him completely, to ensure that his teachings, his presence, his very being would not return. And yet, the story does not end there. However we understand the resurrection as you use, whether as a literal event, a metaphor, or a spiritual truth, it is a declaration that life cannot be easily extinguished, that love, once planted, has a way of returning, that the roots go deeper than we think. That the dandelion, what was meant to be removed, rises again. And resilience alone is not the whole story. The dandelion is not just persistent, it is beautiful. To be honest, I had to slow down to see that. I had seen dandelions my whole life, but had not really looked at them. Not the way I did during those meditative walks. Not the way you do when you're not rushing to the next thing. And when I began to see, what I began to see was not a nuisance at all, but something radiant, something generous, something freely offering itself without needing approval. Children see it. They gather them in small bouquets, holding them out with delight. They make wishes on the seed heads, blowing gently and watching as possibility scatters in the air. Somewhere along the way, most of us were taught to stop seeing that beauty, to instead see the inconvenience, the disruption, the imperfection. And perhaps the same can be said of the Jesus story, because what Jesus embodied was not the kind of beauty that empire recognizes. It was not power or wealth or dominance. It was a beauty rooted in compassion and strength and justice and the radical affirmation of human dignity. He ate with those others rejected. He touched those others avoided. He spoke with those others silenced. To some, that was beautiful. To others, it was threatening, so threatening, in fact, that it needed to be stopped. But Easter reminds us that this kind of beauty cannot be destroyed, only transformed. That what is dismissed as inconvenient or disruptive may, in fact, be sacred. That what we have been taught to overlook may hold the very thing we need. And then there is this. The dandelion is useful. This was perhaps the biggest surprise for me, and maybe this is new to some of you, but every part of the dandelion has value. In all my years of seeing dandelions, no one ever told me that they were entirely edible, that their leaves can nourish, that their roots can be roasted, that their flowers can be turned into tea or wine, healing oils, and so on. No one told me what I was taught to discard could actually sustain. And I found myself wondering, well, what else have I been overlooking? What else have we been taught to dismiss that might actually be a source of life? And here again, we find ourselves in the presence of resurrection, because what Jesus offered, that is his teachings, his way of being, his insistence on love, was not always received with gratitude. Often it was met with resistance. But rejection did not diminish its value. It did not lessen its truth. In fact, the resurrection story suggests that what he offered could not be contained to a single life, a single moment, listen to us still talking about it, a single body. It spread through community, through memory, through practice, through people who chose again and again to embody that same love, that same justice, that same possibility. And that is where we come in, because as UUs, we are not only asked to believe in resurrection, we are asked to participate in it. And this is where our themes meet, that is embracing possibility and meeting the moment. Because it is one thing to admire the resilience of the dandelion, embracing possibility. It is another to ask, where is that resilience needed in us, meeting the moment? Where have we been told that something is over, finished, beyond repair? Where have we been labeled by others or sometimes ourselves as something to be removed? And what would it mean in this moment to rise anyway, to grow anyway, to claim our place, not because it has been granted to us, but because it is already ours? Most of us believe in the lie that freedom isn't free and that you have to earn it. And beyond to the world we're living in, we're in a moment that asks a great deal of us, a moment marked by uncertainty, by injustice, by deep division, a moment in which many are being told explicitly or implicitly that they do not belong. And the question before us is not whether this moment is difficult, because let's be honest, we know that it is difficult. The question we should be asking is, how will we meet it? How will we meet this moment? Will we see only what is broken, or will we also see what is growing? Resistance is everywhere, dear ones. Or will we notice what is rising? Resistance is on the rise. Possibility is not the absence of hardship, it is the presence of something more, something that persists, something that insists, something that, like the dandelion, finds a way. There's one more image I want to leave you with. The dandelion, after it has flowered, when the bright yellow has given way to that delicate spherical seed head, a globe of possibility. Each seed ready to be carried by the wind, each one capable of becoming something new, but only if it's released, only if it is scattered, if it's allowed to scatter. And perhaps that too is part of the Easter story, that resurrection is not just about returning to what was, it is about becoming something new, about allowing what has been to transform into what might yet be, about trusting that even when things fall apart, they may also be falling into place. Even when things fall apart, they might also be falling into place. That's a hope of mine. And so this Easter, let us learn from the dandelion, and maybe also this, that sometimes embracing possibility begins with simply paying attention, with slowing down enough to see what is already here, with being willing to question what we thought we knew. I certainly didn't go looking for dandelions. They were already there. I just finally noticed, and perhaps that is true for you too, that possibility is not something we have to manufacture. It is something we learn to see, something we learn to trust, something we learn to live into, even now, even here, even in us. May we have the courage to notice, to embrace, and to rise. May we be so blessed. And we ask you to actually remain seated as the choir sing for us the closing song. Oops.
Bon, c'est un bon
On this Easter, go forth and meet this moment with the wisdom of the dandelion, with courage, with compassion, and with the quiet, persistent hope of something that refuses to stop growing. Beloveds, worship has ended, and now the service truly begins. And I am scrolling back to look the spot that I wanted to share. So the call to action for this week, since I'm talking about slowing down and noticing, is consider the idea, as hard as it may be during this week until next Sunday at least, the idea that as things are falling apart right now all around us, consider the possibility that they're falling into place, right? We have a part to play in this. We, as you use, we're about building that beloved community. So reflect on that. How, as things seem to be falling apart, how can it be that maybe possibly things are falling into place? And we'll talk a little bit more about that next Sunday as well. Now, let us extinguish.
Please say these words with me as we extinguish this chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry into the world until we are together again.